Hi, my name's Chandler. I'm a humongous Peter Jackson fan, as well as the cast and crew of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I've been a fan for a very long time. Peter, I believe you started doing early concepts of the Shire and scoping out landscapes for the Shire back in 1995, which was the year I was born. So I've been following you guys ever since the beginning of my life. I've always wanted to grow up and be a artist at Weta Workshop. I've always wanted to move to New Zealand and start my life over as a designer at Weta. So I thought that would be an awesome dream. So when I found out that there was a contest to come and watch the actual film and tour the sets of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, I couldn't turn it down. I've also got a pretty compelling story that'd be just a shame not to share. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to look at this and enjoy. I've always been the outdoor type. Growing up, going camping with family, when we'd go hiking, I would always be the one who would be walking up front. I would always be the one who would go off the beaten path and find a hidden waterfall or a cave or whatever. So it was only appropriate that I became a humongous Tolkien fan because I know he had a strong connection um, with the outdoors, with trees and with horses and so on and so forth. Um, so I really connected really well, and I'm also a very big history nut. So also having that kind of interest, it's just a recipe for becoming a humongous fan for Lord of the Rings. Um, I could live outside, I believe. Uh, but lately it's been kind of hard. And in April 27th, at 7:27 p.m., I was in my room, and I was actually watching one of the appendices to the Two Towers. And I remember my mom coming in, and she's saying you need to gather a couple pillows, and a couple of things that you can hold over your head because we're having severe weather. And we always go to the laundry room because it's the only room without glass in it. So I remember thinking, okay, this is just going to be another blow by. It's not even going to touch the ground, or we're not going to have that much of a threat. So as I'm walking through the hall with these pillows, I see the weatherman saying that there's reported rotation from where we're living. And so I'm thinking, it's just going to blow by. You never think it's going to be you. So when I got in there, I sat down and I had one of my dogs and my mother had the other. And I remember telling her, do we need to take stuff off the wall? Because we had a couple coat racks and things that could have flown around if something were to happen. And I remember my dad had a shift that night, so he had his car outside on and he was getting ready to go in an hour. And I remember him coming inside, coming in the room where we were, and white faced. I haven't seen him so confused. And he looked at me and he looked at my mom and he said, "There's no way it's gonna miss us." And at that point, I kind of was like, "What are you talking about? You know, what's going on?" And he said, "It's coming and we're not gonna be able to miss it." So my mom said, "Well, get down. We got to have a chance at this." So we got down. We got our pillows over our heads, and no more than 10 seconds, it hit, and it hit hard. I remember hearing glass hit, glass caving in, and the sheetrock all moved. When the first wind hit, I remember I was right in front of some cabinets, and they kind of did this sway gesture. So I was like, "Here we go." So while I was down, the ceiling came down on me. And in my mind, if I don't move and get all this stuff off of me, anything that's flying around will hit it or it hits me. So I'm in this little area, and in 10 seconds, it's over. It felt like an hour, but in 10 seconds, it was completely silent. And I remember looking up and thinking the light was on, but it was actually just the ceiling was gone. And it was still kind of light out, so it lit up the room. It became real at that point. My mom was asking me if I was alright, and I was. Don't have any bruises, didn't have a scratch. Both of my dogs are okay. I had 4 birds, and none of them got out of their cage, and they all made it too. So I remember getting out of some of the rubble and handing my other dog to my mother and coming out with my dad trying to ask neighbors if they're okay, and it's just, it looked like a battlefield. It really did. We have a pond out back, and it's full of all kinds of wood and all kinds of stuff, and it's pretty related to the Hobbit. In the story, if some of you don't know who is watching this, the dwarves live in a fortress full of gold, and the tale goes a dragon comes through and pretty much kills whoever stands in his way and takes the fortress for himself, leaving all the dwarves homeless. And in the movie and in the book, an heir to the throne gets a ragtag team of dwarves to come and face the dragon and reclaim their homeland. And in a sense, this is very closely related to what I and me and my family went through, and as well as everyone who lived around me. This storm came in, it took my home, and put us out in the street, basically. And unlike the dwarves, we actually had a bunch of help with other people. If anything, my faith in humanity was restored. We have gotten a lot of donations. But it's so closely related. And when this contest came out, and I heard that there would be a chance to make a video, I was wanting to make a little short film of costumes and so forth. But I thought, you know what, I've got an incredible story that I need to tell. And so I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, and I'll show a little clip right after this of some of the devastation. I hope you enjoyed my story. It's been a pretty hard one. We've already got our house rebuilt, so we're going to move in a couple weeks, but I just think I've got to share my story. Thank you.
Oh, misty eye of the mountain below, keep careful watch of my brother's souls. And should the sky be filled with fire and smoke, keep watching over during suns. If this is to end in fire, then we shall all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, oh, stand by and we will watch the flames burn open on the mountainside. And if we should die tonight, we should all die together. Raise a glass of wine for the last time, calling out, Father, oh, prepare as we will watch the flames burn open on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire Surely I'll do the same. Confined in mountain holes, we got too close to the flame. Calling out, Father, oh, hold fast and we will watch the flames burn open on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire